Welcome to TechSphere Podcast. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be diving deep into Apple Intelligence. It's officially available today on iPhone, iPad, and Mac.
So yeah, it's a big deal. It's not just another software update. Apple's really framing this as a whole new era for how we use our devices, you know?
Exactly. And we know you're busy, so we've gone through all of Apple's announcements and press releases. We're here to bring you the need to know. What does this new personal intelligence system actually do?
Yeah.
And how is it going to change? How will it change the way you use your devices?
Okay, so at its core, Apple Intelligence is built on Apple Silicon. It's designed to understand and create, believe it or not, both language and images. The big idea is that it can take action across your apps, it can personalize your tasks, and it can learn from how you use your devices to make your life easier.
I like that, to make your life easier. Apple CEO Tim Cook even said that it will transform what users can accomplish. That's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah, pretty big words. And Craig Federighi, their senior VP of software engineering, backed that up. He's calling this a set of exciting new capabilities that make Apple devices even more helpful and useful.
Buzzwords aside, what can we actually do with Apple Intelligence? Like right now, what are the specifics?
Okay, so let's start with the system-wide writing tools. This has the potential to completely change how we write pretty much everywhere.
Ooh, tell me more about this, because I spend half my life writing.
Think about this. You're emailing your boss. With Apple Intelligence, you can use Rewrite to get different versions of that email, each with a different tone. Need it to sound professional, concise, friendly. Apple Intelligence has got you covered.
Oh, so I can avoid accidentally being too casual with the big boss. That's handy. What if I'm reading like a crazy long article online? Can it help with that too?
Absolutely. You can use the summarization tool to pull out the key points without having to read the whole thing. Talk about a time saver. And for those of us, myself included, who aren't exactly grammar whizzes, there's a proofread feature.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So it checks your grammar, it checks your word choice, even sentence structure. But here's the best part. It actually explains its suggested edits. So you actually learn as you go. No more embarrassing typos. You can say goodbye to that your versus your dilemma forever.
Oh, slick. This is already sounding like a game changer for productivity. Okay, so Apple Intelligence is shaking things up in a big way. What else is new?
Siri is getting a major makeover too. It's designed to be way more natural, more like an actual conversation, and much more tightly integrated into how we use our devices overall.
So it's not just like a disembodied voice popping up randomly.
Exactly. It actually has a whole new visual design. It's this cool glowing light that appears around the edge of your screen when you're interacting with it. And on a Mac, you can even place Siri anywhere on your desktop. No more hunting for that tiny little microphone icon. But the real changes are under the hood. Siri can actually follow along with you, even if you trip over your words. And it actually remembers what you've been talking about, so you don't have to keep repeating yourself.
Oh, okay. So like I could just say, set a reminder, and then make it for tomorrow at 9 a.m. without having to re-explain the whole task.
You got it. Plus, Siri now knows tons more about your Apple devices. Need to figure out how to share a Wi-Fi password? Just ask.
Yeah.
I think you'll be surprised how useful the new Siri really is.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually start using it now. So what about photos? Any big changes there?
Huge. Apple's gone all in on natural language search. Now you can find specific photos or even video segments just by describing them.
Wait, hold on. So I could search for like sunset photos from last summer and it would actually understand what I mean.
Yep. Or think about searching for the part where my dog jumps in the pool in a super long video. No more endless scrolling.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
What about fixing those photos with like a random person in the background ruining the shot? Can Apple Intelligence help with that too?
They've got a new tool for that called Cleanup. It can actually remove unwanted objects or people from your photos.
No way. Like for real?
Yep. AI magic. It just removes the distractions and keeps the rest of your photo intact. And the memories feature, you know, those little slideshows it makes.
Yeah, I love those.
Well, now you can type in a description of the kind of movie you want, like our family vacation or whatever. And Apple Intelligence will pick the best photos and videos, create a storyline, and even arrange it all into a movie with chapters.
So it's like having a personal video editor in my pocket. This is amazing.
Pretty much. And it's all part of Apple's big push to use AI to make our devices more intuitive and helpful.
Okay, I am on board with this Apple Intelligence thing. What about staying focused and prioritizing tasks? Like, any help with that? I feel like I'm constantly drowning in emails and notifications.
Oh, you and everyone else. But this is where Apple Intelligence really shines. Let's start with email. They've added a feature called priority messages. It's designed to highlight those emails that need your attention right away, like those boarding passes you don't want to miss.
Got it. So it's like a personal assistant going through all my emails and flagging the important ones.
Exactly. And you can even see summaries of your emails without having to open them. Plus, for those super long email threads, you can just tap summarize to get the key points. No more getting lost in endless reply alls.
Oh, that sounds like a dream come true. Are there any other, cool email features we should know about?
Smart Reply has also been upgraded to give you even more relevant quick responses. And here's a neat trick. Apple Intelligence can actually identify questions in an email and make sure you've answered them all in your reply.
No more accidentally skipping over that super important question buried 5 paragraphs down. I love it. So what about notifications? I feel like I'm constantly bombarded.
Tell me about it. But Apple Intelligence is rolling out notification summaries. Now you can quickly scan those long lists of notifications on your lock screen and see the key details without getting overwhelmed.
So if I'm in a busy group chat, it'll give me a quick overview without me having to open every single message.
Exactly. Plus, there's a new focus mode called Reduce Interruptions that only shows you notifications that likely need immediate attention. And in the Notes and Phone apps, you can now record, transcribe, and summarize audio.
Hold on, rewind. Summarize audio. What does that even mean?
Let's say you're on a really important call. You can record it, and Apple Intelligence will automatically transcribe the whole thing for you, and even generate a summary of the key points. No more frantically scribbling notes.
Wow, that's game-changing. Okay, so it sounds amazing, but what about privacy? With all this audio recording and AI analyzing everything, are there any concerns?
That's a great question, and it seems like Apple is taking privacy very seriously with Apple Intelligence. A lot of the AI models are run directly on your device, not in the cloud. This is called on-device processing.
So my personal data isn't being sent off to some server farm somewhere for analysis.
Right. For the tasks that need more processing power, they use something called private cloud compute.
Okay, break that down for me. What exactly is private cloud compute?
It's basically like having an extension of your device's security and privacy in the cloud. When you use it, your data is never actually stored by Apple. It's just used to complete your request.
So they're not keeping my data or using it for anything other than what I specifically asked for?
Nope. And get this, independent experts can actually go in and look at the code running on Apple's servers to verify their privacy claims.
Wow, that's reassuring. Okay, so we've covered what Apple Intelligence is. We've covered what it can do now and how they're handling privacy. But what about the future? What's next for Apple Intelligence?
Get ready, because Apple has announced a ton of amazing new features coming out over the next few months, things that will make your devices even more intelligent and personalized. And of course, we've got all the details.
Give me a sneak peek. What can we look forward to?
Okay, let's start with visuals. Remember Memoji? Those personalized avatars you can create?
Of course.
Well, get ready for them to get a whole lot more personalized. Pretty soon, you'll be able to create completely original Genmoji just by typing in a description.
No way.
Yeah.
So I could describe my ideal Genmoji, and it would just make it.
You got it. You can even use a photo of a friend or family member as inspiration. Think of the possibilities.
Okay, that's seriously cool. What else is coming up for visual creativity?
They're introducing Image Playground. It sounds like a super fun way to experiment and create unique images. There's also Image Wand, which can turn those doodles and sketches in your notes into polished images.
Wait, so I could sketch a picture of my cat in my notes, and it would turn it into a real image?
Well, maybe not photorealistic, but it definitely seems like it can make your simple sketches way more visually engaging.
Okay, I can already see all the creative possibilities. What about those amazing writing tools we were talking about? Any upgrades coming for those?
Definitely. In December, they're getting a serious upgrade. Imagine describing a specific change you want to make to your text. Maybe making a dinner party invitation sound more poetic, or adding some vamplizing to your resume.
So it's like having a personal editor on call 24/7.
Awesome. Anything else?
Get this. They're even integrating ChatGPT. Wait, the ChatGPT, as in the crazy smart AI everyone's talking about.
The one and only. You'll be able to tap into that massive knowledge base right in writing tools. And even Siri. Imagine all that information at your fingertips without even having to switch between apps.
My mind is officially blown. This is like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Okay, what else is coming down the pike in the world of Apple Intelligence?
In December, they're rolling out a whole new visual intelligence experience using the new camera control feature on the iPhone 16 lineup.
Okay. In plain English, what does that mean?
Think of it like this. You're walking down the street in, say, Paris. You see a cute little cafe, and you point your phone at it. Apple Intelligence will instantly give you information about it. You can even use it to translate the menu from French to English in real time.
That's wild. So camera control is basically a superpower for your iPhone.
Pretty much. It's also like a gateway to other tools like Google Search or even ChatGPT. So if you want to find out where to buy something you see, or use ChatGPT to help you solve a problem, you can do it all right from your camera app.
So it's kind of like having like a souped-up Google Lens built right in. Incredible. Are there any privacy concerns with that?
It seems like Apple's thought about that too. You control when those other tools are used and what information they have access to.
That's good to hear. I love the idea of having access to all this cool tech, but not at the expense of my privacy.
For sure. But Apple's not stopping there. Siri's also getting even more powerful and personalized.
Even more powerful than it already is.
It's true. Siri will be able to actually draw on your personal data to give you even more tailored information and recommendations. And it's getting this new on-screen awareness and the ability to take even more actions in and across apps.
So basically, Siri's evolving from a voice assistant into a truly personalized AI companion.
Exactly. It's clear Apple is betting big on AI. And with Apple Intelligence, they're taking a massive leap forward in making it a seamless part of our digital lives.
Well, after hearing all that, I'm definitely excited to see how Apple Intelligence continues to evolve over the next few months and years.
Me too. This is just the beginning. And it feels like we're on the cusp of a major shift in how we interact with our devices.
Absolutely. But before we go any further, we want to hear from you. What Apple Intelligence feature are you most excited about? Head over to our social media and let us know. And we'll be right back after a quick message. Don't go anywhere.
And we're back. So we've been talking about how Apple Intelligence is already making waves, but let's zoom out a bit and think about the bigger picture here.
Okay. What's fascinating to me is that it feels like Apple's not just adding features. They're trying to change like the whole way we interact with technology. It's about making things more intuitive, almost like our devices are anticipating our needs.
Yeah, exactly. And a big part of that is this emphasis on device processing and this whole private cloud compute thing.
Right. Let's break that down for our listeners who might not be, super familiar with all the technical terms.
Yeah. Okay, so think of it this way. Imagine you have a bunch of really important documents that you want to keep safe. You could either, lock them in a safe at home where you have complete control, or you could send them off to like a storage facility where someone else is in charge of their security.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
On-device processing is like keeping your data in that safe at home. The AI does its magic right on your iPhone or Mac, so your personal information never leaves your control.
And private cloud compute is like that storage facility, but with some serious security measures in place.
Right. Apple's saying they don't keep your data. They just use it to process your request, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
They're even letting independent experts look under the hood to make sure they're being honest about their privacy claims.
Yeah, that's huge, especially in this age where it feels like every company is trying to collect as much data on us as possible.
It's definitely a different approach, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out as Apple Intelligence becomes even more sophisticated.
Speaking of sophisticated, we've been hearing rumors about Apple integrating with ChatGPT, those super smart AI chatbot everyone's talking about. Is that actually happening?
It's true. You'll be able to tap into ChatGPT's vast knowledge base right from within Apple's writing tools. And even Siri.
So, I could be writing an email and instantly ask ChatGPT to help me find a statistic or write a more compelling subject line.
It's like having a research assistant and a writing coach, all rolled into one.
This is going to be a game changer for productivity.
Absolutely. And it's not just about getting things done faster. Think about the creative possibilities too.
Okay, I'm listening. Give me an example.
Let's say you're designing a birthday invitation for your friend who loves, 80s movies. You could ask ChatGPT to suggest some fun catchphrases. Or even write a poem inspired by their favorite film.
That's amazing. It's like having a brainstorming partner who never runs out of ideas.
And this level of AI integration is going to go even further with the new visual intelligence features.
You mean the camera control stuff they've been teasing?
Exactly. You'll be able to point your iPhone 16 at an object. And it will not only identify it, it can also pull up relevant information, translate text, and even connect you with other tools like Google Search or, yep, you guessed it, ChatGPT.
So I could be like at a museum, point my phone at a painting, and instantly get information about the artist, the style, the historical context.
Right. Or you could be traveling in a foreign country, point your phone at a sign and get a real-time translation.
It's like having a universal translator and a personal tour guide all in one.
The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing, and of course, it all comes back to that seamless integration we were talking about. Apple wants our devices to feel like natural extensions of ourselves, and Apple Intelligence is a huge step in that direction.
It's definitely exciting, but
Yeah.
I have to admit, part of me is a little bit intimidated by all this AI stuff. I mean, it's amazing what it can do, but is it going to make us lazy or less creative?
That's a great question, and I think it's something we all need to be thinking about. But here's the thing. AI is a tool, just like a hammer or a paintbrush.
I like that analogy. So it's all about how we choose to use it.
Exactly. We can use AI to automate boring tasks and free up our time for more creative pursuits. We can use it to learn new things and expand our horizons, or we can let it do all the thinking for us, which probably won't end well.
Right. It's all about finding that balance between convenience and staying engaged with the world.
Absolutely. And as Apple Intelligence keeps evolving, I think we'll see even more ways to personalize our experience and make sure these tools are enhancing our lives, not, taking over.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm officially on board with this whole Apple Intelligence thing.
Me too.
Uh,
It feels like we're on the verge of something truly transformative, and I, for one, can't wait to see where it takes us.
Before we wrap up our deep dive today, I want to touch on one more thing that I think is super important: availability.
You mean who can actually use Apple Intelligence right now and what languages it supports?
Exactly. Not everyone has the latest and greatest Apple devices, so it's important to be clear about who has access to all this cool new tech.
Right. So as of today, Apple Intelligence is available on iPhone, iPad, and Mac devices running the latest software updates. That includes the iPhone 15 and 16 lineups, the new iPad Pro, and all Macs with Apple Silicon.
Okay, so what about people who have older devices? Are they just out of luck?
Well, not necessarily. Apple has said they're working on bringing Apple Intelligence to more devices in the future, but they haven't given us, any specific timelines yet.
Fair enough. What about languages? Is Apple Intelligence only available in English right now?
At launch, it supports English, Spanish, French, German, Mandarin Chinese, and Japanese. But Apple has promised to expand language support in the coming months.
So if your preferred language isn't supported yet, just hang tight. It's coming soon.
Exactly. And I think that's a good reminder that this is just the beginning for Apple Intelligence. We're going to see a ton of new features and updates over the next year, so it's definitely an exciting space to watch.
I completely agree. Apple has thrown down the gauntlet. It's going to be fascinating to see how the rest of the tech world responds.
Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way. Competition breeds innovation, and that's good news for all of us.
Well said. But before we get too carried away with speculating about the future, let's bring it back to the present. What feature are you most excited about?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so much to be excited about. But I think for me, it's the potential of camera control. It's not just about, getting information. It's about blurring the lines between the digital and physical worlds. Imagine using your iPhone to learn about the history of a building or identify the constellations in the night sky.
Oh, that's a great point. It's almost like our phones are becoming portals to a whole new layer of information and experiences.
Exactly. And the fact that it can integrate with other apps and services, that opens up a world of possibilities.
And let's not forget about the privacy aspect.
Yeah.
Apple's commitment to on-device processing and this whole private cloud compute thing.
Yeah.
This could be a real game changer in the age of AI.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a bold move. And I think it's going to put pressure on other tech companies to step up their game when it comes to protecting our data.
Absolutely. But ultimately, it's up to us, the users, to decide how we want to use these powerful tools.
That's the key takeaway here, isn't it? AI isn't inherently good or bad. It's all about how we choose to wield it.
Well said. And I think that's a perfect note to end on. Apple Intelligence is here, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it shapes the future of technology.
I completely agree.
But we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Apple Intelligence? Are you excited, skeptical, or somewhere in between? Head over to our social media and let us know.
We love hearing from our listeners.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive into Apple Intelligence. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll be back next time with another fascinating topic, so stay tuned.